Alright, quick and dirty. I am going to do a short review on Microcosmum, Survival of the Cells, which is a short Unity engine game for the PC. It's available on Steam. I think it was available on other platforms too. It's a real simple game. And it needs describing. It's a little weird. And that's kind of why I want to do a video on it, because I don't think everyone's aware of this. And it's a neat thing. Worth talking about. Alright. Where to start? Microcosmum is essentially a short game where, for lack of a better term, you play as a single-celled organism trying to dominate, in each case, a little microscopic environment. Some of them are very simple, and that's kind of the challenge of them, is that there's no place to run and hide. Others are more elaborate. You see silica of cell walls and so on, where you kind of race around. Let's put race in air quotes, where you slowly drift about in super slow motion, running away from other cells that are also, it's like watching snails race, while pleasant music plays, and the way it's portrayed, the lighting and so on, the way the characters, they're single-celled organisms. They really are single-celled organisms. The way they're lit and represented on screen is very visually interesting. I think the purpose of this game was to be kind of like a relaxing, like you could just play it and it's cool, just sort of laid back. Maybe you're high on pot or something, I don't know. It doesn't come across that way to me at all. The slowness of it just adds tension as you slowly watch your enemies closing in on you. You're hoping that you have enough antibodies to stave them off, to keep from being destroyed. It's actually very, like, kind of, to me, edge of my seat, like, oh no. It's like watching an action movie, the way they go into slow motion very frequently. Or at least that's sort of a style, Matrix style, where you're watching a kung fu fight in slow motion. It doesn't make it less tense, it's just the opposite. It's like, oh no, you have more time to react and think about what's going on. It stresses you out more. So I think if it's supposed to be like a kind of relaxing game, it kind of fails. That said, it's a dirt simple game. I mean, you have a pointer, like, a mouse-controlled pointer. You use the Alt key to control your microorganisms. Use the spacebar key to control the antibodies they slowly produce. That's it. That's it. That's really it. Each cell produces antibodies. If you put all of the antibodies, make them converge on one of your own cells, that cell will be upgraded. An upgraded cell can take more damage, produces more antibodies, and so on, so you can upgrade more or send more antibodies to attack. If you have your antibodies converge on an enemy cell, it'll be downgraded. If it's already down to its lowest downgrade, it'll be, for lack of a better term, ungraded. It becomes neutral. It's no longer an enemy or a friend, it's just this neutral cell. You send your antibodies into a neutral cell, that becomes one of your cells. Really, really simple mechanism. That said, there are 50-some levels in the first game, and then there was a DLC, New Life or whatever it was. There are a whole bunch of other levels with cool new abilities and stuff. Neat addition. In the second game, the DLC, the New Life expansion, basically you fought for lack of a better term, it's just killing me. I'm talking about cells. I'm talking about a simulation of single-celled organisms, and it sounds exciting and complex. So kudos to this game for that. but you fight boss cells, boss microorganisms. And the boss microorganisms usually have some weird power. And if you defeat them, then in between levels, you have the option of using similar powers for yourself. For example, there's one that just produces a cloud of neutral antibodies, good for defense. What's another one? Another one freezes the environment around you. Another one, the one I use all the time, is the caustic cloud, which is this cloud that surrounds it that's harmful to enemy antibodies and enemy cells. So if they close on you, kind of an extra level of defense, but only lasts for a little while. And then you have to wait for it to regenerate. So let's back that up. Going in between levels. So after you win a level, you get a little upgrade. And the upgrade is either to your armor, making you more resistant to harm, upgrade speed, which means fewer antibodies are needed to upgrade you, upgrade your cells, speed, which is the speed of your cells, which is, even at its highest levels, dirt slow, and antibody speed, the little speed of the little antibodies that your cells give off. At each level you get a little upgrade, and you can add a number of these upgrades to your cells, so they all have these cool abilities. And for particular levels, different upgrades are useful, and you can swap them out all you like. It's useful to save up a whole bunch of them, and if you have 5 upgrades of a particular kind, you can combine them to make a more powerful upgrade, and so on and so forth. It's the, as you win more, you get more experience, you can make different cells, different powers. I always lean towards speed, because like I said, this game is really, really slow. Really, really quite slow. I mean, that's it. That's all there is to this. I have to give them real credit for 2 reasons. One, some of the Unity engine, the engine that allows smaller games like this to be made, smaller, less expensive looking games to be made, some of them end up looking kind of amateurish, like very amateurish. This one would, and I guess it does, but it's got style. It's got a very nice style. It's visually very, very appealing. It's a very pretty game to watch. It's nice and relaxing. You can stop at any point, save between games. I think kind of, like I said, it kind of fails as the relaxing game during gameplay, but you can pick it up and put it down. It's not like there's complicated characters here that you have to remember intricate storylines about or anything like that. So it's nice, it's relaxing, it's a neat little game, grabs your attention. You can, like, some nights I'll just, like, I got, for example, I'm waiting for one of these videos to post, which takes a little while. So, like, I got a few minutes to kill. I don't want to just stare at the screen, I don't feel like reading. I'll just play Microcosmum, Survival of the Cells. It's got a very simple root mechanism that they've built up from into a very interesting little game. And that's fun as hell. Things this game has going for it. Benefits, drawbacks, let's go through this. One, it's not a very expensive game. It's not a $69 big title release from a huge studio. It's a nice little, like I said, nice little Unity engine game. Looks really nice, real simple, and it's not pricey. I think I even got it on a Steam sale. Not positive, but I know it did not put me back very much. And the DLC is really inexpensive. So, not an expensive game, and that's a big point. That's a very important point. Because if you play on the really hard difficulty levels, it can take you many, many tries to get through a level. If you play at the lower levels, or you're very good, or your cells are very upgraded, you can whip through this entire game relatively quickly. I should actually, now that I'm thinking about it, go to Steam, and let's see, go to our library. Yeah, I've been playing this game for a while, and I've only got 17 hours into it, and I've defeated the entire initial level. So it's not expensive, and it's got decent replayability. Like I said, you can upgrade stuff, try different. I try speed. That's my usual bag, but just as easily you could max out armor and kind of try to make yourself like a turtle, invulnerable but slow, or like honestly you can get away with not moving your cells very much in a lot of levels. So why not just say, I'm not going to upgrade cell speed, but I am going to upgrade antibody speed all the way. So decent replayability, nice little game as far as that goes. Downsides, like I said, you can whip through this game in no time. So that's a downside. Not really much else. It hasn't shown itself to be particularly buggy. I've seen a few things, a few little glitches, but nothing big. Like, I've had a few moments where the game sort of like ratcheted down, like something was going on with it, but that was rare. That's very rare. So not buggy, not particularly. It's not a very long game. You can get to the end of it pretty darn quick. With the DLC, you can change the color of the cells and stuff like that, so you have different colors available to you. That's neat. I actually jumped at that pretty quick. So all in all, what's my usual rating thing? What are the odds you'll buy this game and not like it? I think it's surprisingly very low chance you won't like this game. If this were an expensive game, I'd give it much better odds that you wouldn't like it. Like if this were a $50, $60 game, you'd be, even if you enjoyed the game a lot, you'd be like, wow, I got to the end of this way too fast. I mean, that didn't last long. Like I said, I'm 17 hours into this game, and I'm way into finishing the second expansion. But it's inexpensive, so it's a good time for what it is. So I think the odds that you won't like it are pretty low. I'd say 1 in 8. Pretty good odds you'll like it. It's inexpensive. It's a nice little throwaway. I've got some time to kill. Let's play one level of this. And at the same time, it's intriguing enough that you can just get into the mode of playing it and just play for. You could play for one short level, or you could play for hours at a time. It has that going for it. Would I play it again? I'm playing it right now. Would I play a level I've already beaten? Yes. Actually, after I've finished everything, I'm going to keep playing. I'm just going to ratchet up the difficulty level because I'm constantly acquiring more upgrades. So I'd like to see how this works out. It's another thing that's cool about this game. So yeah, I'd play it again. It's worth replaying. There's some games where I've played them, you get to the end, the long credit roll and everything, and you just never playing this ever again. Didn't hate it. It was pretty good. I liked it, but I'm done. I'm finished with that. Other games, Mass Effect and The Witcher come to mind immediately, where I've played through every single game I've played all the way through. Like, let's start over with Mass Effect 1, go all the way to 3, numerous times doing different things, because it's fun to do. This game is a little like that. It does have good replayability, because it's so simple. So it's very easy to pick up. Nice, low, smooth learning curve. You pick this up very easily. There's not much to it. So, no, I recommend it. Strongly, actually. If it's a cheap game. If you want something like complicated storyline, this is not the game for you. This is not that kind of game. But otherwise, it's a good game. Go play it. That's it. I'm out.